have had a Senna and have been engaging in the chat for over a year now. And immediately I rigged up 2 microphones in my helmet to be able to capture dual vlog audio, right? So me and my buddies, we all know what it is, right? They sound like they're on the phone.
Nice.
Recently, I came under a windfall of some free older GoPros, bought some handlebar mounts, threw one on the bars facing back at me, and it was cool. Then I started grabbing my roommate's footage from the ride and editing that. And I've done that once, and I absolutely love it. Just picking and choosing the spots where he says something really funny or his view of something would in fact be better based on road position. And I personally love it. It's the most recent video on my channel if anyone wants to check it out after this.
Absolutely.
I think I've seen other vloggers do this. Grommy Bear does this with whoever he goes out with, his girlfriend or his buddy. And I think it's really cool. So my tip for today is going to be the clap. Not the clap you're thinking of.
Yeah, I was like, man, we already know you got the clap.
So the trick with audio is if Steve and I are going to go out and I'm going to use my helmet cam, my handlebar cam, and his camera, I have to gather him near me. All 3 cameras need to be able to see my hands. And then I give it a good, and then pull, so that I can then link up all 3 tracks, get that sound and that meeting of the hands just perfectly lined up, link the 3 tracks, and then start editing that way. Make my cuts, and then go back through and select which parts to have be which camera, right? The clap is actually the exact same thing as this. I have props today.
Give you props, man. Nice.
So if anybody was trying to figure out how to edit after you shoot with multiple cameras, that's my life hack for the day.
Very cool, dude. Nice.
Can I put a quick one in there as well, Wiggs?
Come on in.
When I'm shooting with Mad, we've only got the 2 cameras right now. So if you're only running 2 cameras, we do I'll put my gloves, I'll put my hands over both cameras, and then I'll count to 3, and then I'll release both hands. So I'll do the same thing but without audio.
Yeah.
So I'll line up as soon as you take your glove off and you've got that bright white when the camera's sort of adjusted. I'll line those 2 bits up, and that's how I do it with it. But obviously with 3 cameras, the clap is definitely you won't need a 3rd hand.
Yeah, no, and definitely, and with any kind of audible noise too, like, you know, even a GoPro that you're not going to use the audio from, it's picking up audio. You can get your good guess based on, you find that spike in the audio, and you just line the 3 up, and then you double check them all.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Very cool, man. And what are you using for editing software, Wiggs?
I am actually on an iPad Pro, and I am using LumaFusion, which cost every bit of $20. And I love it. It's Premiere Pro, and it has keyboard shortcuts and mouse support and Apple Pencil support. And I can edit anywhere. I have cellular on my iPad, so I mean, I can edit and be grabbing background music off the internet anywhere that has cell service.
No kidding. It's called LumaFusion. Cool.
Yeah, anybody that has an iPad should definitely give it a go. Compared to the cost of like an Adobe program, you know, or it's really, really impressive. You have all kinds of color grading options. 6 tracks of 4K can render simultaneously on top of each other.
Yeah. All right, cool. Good tip. Good tip, man. All right, let's turn it on over. Who's next in line? We got John. What's happening, man?
All good, man. All good.
John and I got to have a real nice talk. I don't want to blow the, you know, open up anything that we shouldn't, you know, let the cat out of the bag, but we had a real good talk the other day, man. Damn, it was nice. It was like, for me, it was the afternoon. I had, you know, just getting ready for lunch and stuff. We had like an hour-long chat. It was very, very cool, man.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I enjoyed catching up.
Yeah, definitely. So we were talking about 2-up riding, and we had the discussion when you and I talked earlier this week about, has Matt ever ridden with Mama Soph? How often has she ridden with you? And it kind of got me to thinking, like, we're going to see more people out on the roads. I know that the person that I usually have on the back is a fair weather rider. So I only trust myself to ride with her on the back anyway when it's good weather. I don't want to take her in the rain and all that. With good weather coming up, right? What type of tips would you have for people who are doing two up? When did you start doing it? And I'd also like to really know this, man. Like when you first started, was there anything you were afraid of that you always had on your mind? And how did you work that out?
I can't recall exactly when I first had a passenger on the back. I think it was quite early on in my, once I was familiar with my bike and comfortable with my riding. I got a pillion on the back. I think it was a friend of mine or Soph. Although Soph only rode pillion a couple of times with me. She was much keener on getting her own bike and starting her own journey. So I had a couple of friends on the back, and I think the thing that worried me most was, or the thing that concerned me most was, just the handling the bike at slow speeds when the person's sort of fidgeting around, or if they move one way when you're not anticipating. So. I think one of the, I mean, I don't claim to be any sort of expert on riding two up. I mean, I ride a lot with two up, obviously, but Mad doesn't really weigh all that much.
Right.
Doesn't have a massive, she starts, sometimes when she's excited, and she's having a little dance or whatever, I can feel that on the back of the bike, especially at slow speed. So I just remind her, if you're gonna readjust yourself or have a little sort of adjustment, then try and do it when Dad's riding in a straight line at a decent speed rather than when we're slowing down at the traffic lights. If I'm looking at getting a passenger on for the first time, if they want to have a go but they're a little nervous, I'll say, look, I'll set off at a steady pace. We'll stop after a few minutes, or if I've got the headsets, then you just let me know if you want to go a little faster, if you want me to accelerate, go to the same speed but accelerate quicker. Like, you tell me what you're looking for or what you're comfortable with, and I'll gauge that. Because the last thing I want to do is scare that person away from riding two up again or getting on the bike again. As fun as it is to give someone a bit of excitement, I'll do it at their pace when they're ready.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a really good tip, man. You don't want to scare the crap out of somebody as soon as you first start getting them on the bike, right?
No, absolutely not. So yeah, I'll just do it at their pace. I'll give them a few tips. I'll tell them to jump on when I say it's good to jump on. So I'll get on the bike, steady myself, take the weight of the bike, and prep myself for them jumping on. Obviously, it depends on the bike. If they're on a sports bike, they're going to have to put the foot on that peg and climb up. On my bike, you could probably step over the back seat if you're not Mad size. But Mad obviously just climbs aboard. So yeah, just whatever your bike is, just tailor yourself to them. Tell them how you want them to get on and off the bike. When you stop, give them the signal. I usually give someone a tap or whatever to get off the bike if I want to park it without them on the back. And
can't see you unless I'm talking.
Yeah, just set a few ground rules and then answer any questions they've got before you jump on the bike. I don't think there's any real preparation that you can do other than just go for a steady ride first and just try it out. Maybe not go for that big ride straight off the bat with your first time as a passenger, or your first time with a passenger, sorry. Your audio's gone deep, I think.
Hey, can I throw something in on that?
Yeah, go for it, Yogi.
The only thing I would say, what I noticed from riding with my wife on the back of the bike is when you're coming up to a stop sign or you're coming up to a stoplight, be more heavy on that. When you're getting ready to stop, be more heavy on that back brake than you are the front brake.
Yeah.
Man, I've noticed, especially being on a bagger, which is for me top heavy, when I'm getting close to that stop sign, if I put on too much of a front brake, there have been so many times where I've almost dumped it, like standing still because of that.
Yeah, I suppose the big thing to mention as well is the stopping distance, isn't it? Is obviously increased, so you've got to be aware of that as well. I usually let the person know, when we're going to accelerate, you're going to go backwards, so watch your head on that sissy bar. And when I brake or whatever, you're gonna come forwards a little. So just try not to headbutt me as we're coming to a stop. But I'll try and take it. You want to do those. You want to take those adjustments a little slower, don't you? You maybe want to accelerate a little steadier, brake a little steadier, brake a little earlier. And then the other thing, I suppose, is when you're turning. Personally, I'll tell the passengers to just relax. Not relax so much that they fall off the bike, but just go with whatever the bike's doing. If you feel like you're going to the right, go to the right. but don't try and lean, don't try and sit up, don't try and lean with the bike, or, you know, don't make a conscious. It's hard to explain, but I think you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, right on, man. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
keep
loud and
doing the
clear.
damn audio checks. All right, yeah, man. So when the first time that I took my girl on the back, I remember I'd probably been riding about, I don't know, 4 to 6 months. And the first thing we did, I really wanted to go to downtown, but we went all the way like back roads to downtown, where you can get there from my house in like 15 minutes on the highway. It took us probably about 40 minutes, but it was worth it, man. It was a lot of stopping and going, and you're definitely right. Something that you need to warn them about is their helmet continually hitting you in the back of the head. It's annoying as heck.
Yes, it is.
And with that, let's move. Who do we have next? Oh, Mr. Yogi. So this is going to be a really good discussion, man. Here's what I asked Yogi to come on and talk to us about. Yogi obviously been working on bikes for a while. You know, probably has so much experience at it, as Saddle Tramp does. Tramp, I know you built bikes frame up, and any of you guys probably could have done a great job in this. So please feel free to jump in as well on some of your favorite spring motorcycle preparation tips. So first, I'm gonna let you take it, Yogi.
Oh man, I appreciate it. So I do ride with a club here in North Carolina, and one of the things that we do every year is by the end of March, we have a thing. It's called a T-clock inspection, and if you go on Google and look up T-clock, it's put out by the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. It's just an inspection sheet, and T-clocks is an acronym for tires, controls, lights, oil, chassis. And it's basically, it goes through every single piece of your bike and lets you inspect every single part of your bike. And it's good for me because it helps me get familiar with the bike. It's good for you. It helps you learn your bike. And the more you know your bike, the better off you are. Because, you know, if one of these days you break down when you're on the road, you got to know how your bike is put together and how it works together. So a T-clock inspection is what we use. And what we'll do is we'll check each other's bikes. And we'll look at each other's bikes and try to bust each other. And they're like, oh man, this is wrong with your bike. You need to fix this. This is wrong. You need to fix that. So I find that it works pretty well at getting your bike ready for spring, making sure your fluids are changed and making sure your tires are filled with air and everything's oiled and working and functioning, you know?
For sure, man. So if we have people up north, I don't know, where are you located, Yogi?
I'm in outside of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, so you're in North Carolina. I know we've got people way up north, like, and even out in the Midwest where it gets so cold, they put their bikes for a while. Wiggs, he's out there. I don't know if he does stuff like that. You got to store yours for a while. Wiggs homeboys in the back.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to live with Steve, who has 2 garages, so my bike's got garage kept this winter.
I recognize the mullet, dude. That is a YouTube. Freedom. It's becoming a YouTube sensation. I seen you on Wiggs' channel. I'm like, who's this cat?
Fuck yeah, bro. Glad to hear
What's your name?
Steve.
Steve. Okay, cool. And you guys are up in Michigan.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's cold. It was cold today, man. It's Michigan's definitely a winter state. So
yeah, so you store your bikes, you winterize them and all that stuff.
Yeah. I did a decent job this year of it. I had 2 dead batteries, but they both jumped, so
okay, cool. So, Yogi, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who's getting their bike out of winterization? Like, what are the fluids to really keep a close eye on? And when you're switching out the fluids, what would be the main ones you would go after first?
Well, I would probably swap out all. I mean, it depends what kind of bike you have. If you have a metric bike, it's all in one, so you're changing all of it in one. If you have a Harley, you know, it's probably 3 different fluids. So, you know what it was like when you parked it and what the levels were when you parked it. Make sure there aren't any spots on the floor when you pull it out of storage. You know, keep your bike on a tender so you don't have the dead battery issue. You can buy a tender for pretty cheap because usually when your batteries are toast, they're hard to jump. They're usually toast. So, you know, and making sure that if it's inside and garage kept, your fluids are probably fine. Just make sure that the levels are right and don't check your levels when it's cold. You know, you got to get that bike warmed up to operating temperature and then check your fluid levels. Because I know, for instance, on my Fat Boy, there should be a check valve. My oil tank is higher than the crankcase. So if my fat boy sits for a couple of weeks, all that oil drains out of the oil tank. And you can pop the cap and look in and go, oh, dang, it's empty. I need to add oil. You add oil. Next thing you know, you're rolling down the road. The cap pops out. You're shooting oil, hot oil all over the back of your thigh. And you're like, oh, crap. You know?
Yep. That's how that works. I've done the same thing.
Yeah. Did that on the way to work once. Wow, it's low. I added oil and the cap popped off halfway on the way to work. So don't do that, man. Warm your bike up. Know what it was when you parked it. Warm your bike up in the spring and then check your fluids.
Right on. That sounds good. Tramp, it sounds like you had an experience like that, huh?
Oh yeah, that's definitely all bikes that if you have an oil tank that is above your crankcase, unlike your twin cams, well, that's not right. Your Dyna models and bagger models, they're always down there on the bottom. But like Softails, you got the oil bag right up underneath the seat. You let them sit for any length of time. Well, not any length, but for a good amount of time, the oil, gravity is going to take its place and the oil is going to drain. And it's going to go fall down into the crankcase. And then you go to check your oil. It's like, oh my goodness, what happened? I need to add oil. And I did that one time. I dumped a whole quart and said, wow, that thing was a quart low. How about that? And then the missus and I went and took a ride to get some lunch. And we got to where we were going about 20 miles away. And that motorcycle was an oily mess all over the place. It's like, oh my goodness. And hard lesson learned,
Yeah.
Anyway, well, a lesson learned the hard way. So here I am outside the restaurant, using straws to get the excess oil out of the freaking tank and dispose it into a Gatorade bottle. It was a big old mess. But yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, all those bikes that have an oil tank that's above the crankcase, namely under the seat, that's going to happen when they stay parked for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, as you say that, man, I was like, yep, sure enough, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
My friend. Cool.
Hey,
sorry, mate.
No, go ahead, John. And right after that, I'm going to give some shout outs in the chat.
Cool. Yeah, my friend had the same thing happen to him. The oil dumped out the side, all over the road, all over his tire. It was his first ride on his new. It wasn't brand new, but it was new to him. He just bought a Sportster, just passed his test, and he called me up and said we were about to ride to his vehicle inspection so he could get his bike on the road. And he called me up and said, "The oil's just pissed all over the bike. It's all over the tire. It's all over the road. I need you to come and give me a hand." So I went down there and I said, so we sorted it all out, and we had to get to this inspection before the place closed. And I said, should we cancel? He said, no. He said, just do a burnout on my bike. Just get the oil off the back tire for me. So I was like, this is your new bike. You want me to do a burnout on your bike? And he was like, yeah, just do it. We got to go. So yeah, there you go. Did a burnout on his bike, got all the oil off the back tire, and then we made it just in time to get his vehicle inspected.
Nice. Nice job, man. All right, cool. So let me give some shout outs out here in the chat, man. This is a little bit late for shout outs, but we're going to do them anyway. Here we go. I'm going to go way to the top. Let's see how fast I can do these. Let's see. Just throw out some shout outs. We got Touring Midwest, Mr. McStash in the house. Been enjoying your videos lately, man. JMac707, always digging JMac. You guys got to check him out. JMac, I saw that you had a podcast going on the other night with Andrew from Touring Midwest. Don't think that got by me, man. I saw that. I thought it was badass. If you guys missed it, go check him out. We got Motorcycle Mama. By the way, so this weekend, and I wish Motorcycle Mama, I should have sent you the link. Motorcycle Mama and the crew, the Motorcycle Mafia, the Mama Mafia. Let me back up, the Mama Mafia. They're having something special happening on their channel. Let's see, you can go over to Motorcycle Mama's Instagram and check out all the details. But Mama, go ahead and put something out here in the chat for us about the detail. Speaking of the chat, so Motorcycle Mama, you put that in. I saw just a moment ago that Blacktop Devil, man, hit that super chat button. And yes, that super chat button got added last week. Can you believe it? Holy smoke. Pretty crazy, man. So that was if there's going to be a celebration, woo, there you go. Very cool. He put $5 in the super chat, dude. Now I got to put $5 on your super chat, but that was really, really cool. Who else do we have out here? Cajun Rider from Texas, Ozark HD Riders, Patrick Hattrick, as I call Patty Hattie, in the house. He's a regular out here, man. I appreciate you being here. What other shenanigans? We got Moz 42 in the house. I feel bad when I miss people, but we got Open Road Vlogs. We got Anonymous Biker USA. Open Road Vlogs, very cool dude. Baggers and Brews. Who else? Ooh, we got tons, dude. I wish I could read faster. You guys probably think I sound like a friggin' auctioneer over here. Who else? The 333. Never want to miss them. DeBeard. I saw Austin out there from Baggers and Brews. Just so many. ACW. I know I'm missing tons of people. I could go on reading all day. The 2 Kiwi Riders. Blast from the past, man. I start getting notices on Facebook this week about the ride that we had in New Zealand this same time last year, man. I was in New Zealand with the 2 Kiwi Riders. Can you believe it? Last year was a dream come true, man. Those first 3 months in Austin and New Zealand, I probably talk about it a lot, but it was incredible. So seeing all these pictures come up, I'm like, damn, I miss you guys. Come to the United States, please. Anonymous Biker, I thought I called you out. Skid Pig in the house. Oh, we got most of the Braptown crew up in here, looks like. At least a couple. Ozark HD Riders with $2. Damn, that's crazy, right? Touring Midwest with 99 cents. That's my favorite one. Thank you, sir. No, I can't pick favorites, but I love you put a little Dookie charm in there. I love it. Who else? Mr. Velasquez Motovlogs. Okay, I'm out of breath, guys. I'm going to shut my trap. Thank you for everybody who watches these. It really does mean a lot. It's very cool. Let's move on to Mr. Saddle Tramp. Tramp, what do you have for us today?
What do you want to know?
Talk to us first about the tool bag. I saw a video that you did. Here's why I asked you to be on here. Okay. I did see your tool bag video. Now, this was months ago, and I really liked it. I thought it was really cool, man, because it was very well thought out. It's not like some people's bags, mine included, that's probably like, I might need this stuff, blam. So talk to us about what you like to carry.
Well, basically what I like to carry is stuff that's, I know I said it in the video, stuff that's relative to what I'm riding. Stuff that it would be typical to need. What bolt may rattle loose? Of course, I'm thinking in the context if you're riding a homemade garage built, death trap chopper. But nevertheless, any motorcycle, like if you're on a road trip or something like that, you want to carry tools that's relative to your bike, or even if you're not on the road trip, you still want to carry tools that's relative to that scenario. But I would say, something that would be universal for all motorcycles, if you're going to carry a tool bag, what tools to have, something like maybe if you need to change your brake pads, or something to open the bleeder valve on a brake caliper if you got to bleed brakes, or something to open up your air cleaner with if you got to clean your air filter, spark plug wrench, zip ties, and
keep going, brother. Give me just a sec.
Okay. Intermission.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Keep going.
Oh, it told me to keep going. I thought, okay. Anyway, like electrical tape, zip ties. Zip ties are a universal use for something that you just don't have like I say, universal. And, wire strippers, things like that if you have to. But then again, if you're riding a newer bike, you more than likely won't need that extreme. So, like I said, it's just something that's like relative to what you have. And also, it's not always a bad idea if you have saddlebags, if you have room for it, to carry around extra fluids and maybe motor oil, primary fluid, or whatever, but I'm thinking in the context of what I ride, not everybody's leaking oil and using oil these days. Stuff like that. Something that you would need also to remove your, now that I think about it, remove your seat to get to your battery if you ever need to get a jump off if you got a dead battery or whatever, stuff like that. I mean, the sky's, I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but like I said, it kind of seems like it when you're talking about generally speaking, because I don't need everything that Joe Blow's going to need, and Joe Blow's not going to need everything that I'm going to need. And pretty much on all my bikes, I pretty much have everything in my tool bag to cover both the Tramp and my Evo Softail. In fact, everything that I would carry on the Tramp, my Sportster chopper, is pretty much more than sufficient for my Evo Softail anyway. So they pretty much use the same tools, all standard tools and things like that. But that's basically in a nutshell what I would carry in my tool bag. No, I mean that's what's in mine. Like I said, what may be necessary for somebody else's is them. I'm not going to need this. Somebody who's riding a Honda Shadow is probably not going to need all the same tools that I need for mine. But like I said, and I said it 3 times already or 4, that it's all going to depend on what you're riding. And if you're handy enough to fix your own stuff, that is, if you're not, dependent on the local shop to do it, but that's basically it. And Dee's is back. Cool.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, but that's my explanation on that.
I like the zip ties. The zip ties are a big one. Baggers and Brews just said that they fixed a shifter linkage on one of their rides last year with zip ties.
Oh yeah. Me and a buddy of mine fixed his shifter linkage with zip ties. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're universal, man. I mean, you can't go wrong with them. And he went another 20,000 miles on those zip tied shifter linkages till he had to either put another zip tie on it or just get new shifter linkage.
Hair ties, the ponytail hair ties, they work just as well for shift linkage because they can flex when the shift linkage is moving. You can buy a pack of 25 for like $2 at Walmart.
Well, I never thought of that. I use a lot of those, but not for motorcycles, just because I'm too lazy to get a haircut. That's what it is.
Dude, I don't think anyone's going to be getting a haircut for a while, man. Those places are closed down.
I know. Ain't that something? I ain't got nothing to worry about.
No, I was talking to my brother the other day. I said, we're either going to shave it or we're just going to let it grow. John shaves his.
I need
getting shaggy.
Dude, yeah. And like this sucks real bad.
Yeah.
In a full face helmet. I usually keep it neat and tidy, but I had long hair for a long time. What I'm thinking about doing though, guys, and I want your opinion, is do I give myself like the widow's peak, like goth girl, like sharp cut bangs, and then post a selfie on Instagram, like feeling cute, might delete later.
Like Eddie Munster.
Or Count
Like
Dracula.
Eddie Munster. Oh, dude, I have the Eddie Munster. I actually have it.
Nice, dude. Yes, I love that. The whole feeling cute, should I delete later? I hate that. When I see that, I would just want to throw the phone in the toilet and flush it.
Yeah. I miss the barbershop.
Check it out, man. So, dude, barbershops are 86. Cesspool, along with strip clubs. I was so surprised. I wasn't that surprised. Let me take that back. I was a little disappointed to see how long the strip club, the biggest one in town, is right on the biggest highway, packed to the gills up until like 2 days ago.
Jesus.
I'm like, man, they let y'all work from home. You come straight to the strip club and start spreading germs. Nasty. Anyway, let's move on. Hey, by the way, so I ran out and I grabbed my little tool bag here. And so this tool bag was made as a Christmas present given to me by Iron Cross Racing. I don't know if Iron Cross is in the house. I think he's been working late lately. I see some of your comments out there, guys, and I'm going to be reading them here in just a sec. But here's something that I carry in mind. Obviously, one of these little tools. It's got all the...
Yeah, those are essential.
You know what I'm getting at. Yeah, this little bag carries a lot. But here's another thing, guys. Carry a pin with duct tape wrapped around. So you got your duct tape without carrying the big-ass roll.
Huh. Yeah,
you get a pipe that you get, some kind of hose that leaks or something gets busted. I fixed a fuel line with some of this one time.
You saw that on a prepper YouTube channel, didn't you?
I don't know where I got it from. It was probably passed around word of mouth, but you know what? Those preppers, I used to crack on them, dude. I'm not making fun of them anymore. I'll tell you what, I told my wife, we're going to have a little corner in our garage that's a prep spot from here on out, man. But here's the other thing too with this pen, like if anything happens, you can write down, somebody's license plate, insurance information, whatever, man. Mm-hmm. You can get somebody with it if it gets out of hand. And what else we got? Oh, I got these. Obviously, we're always going to need different sizes of the rings. Right? Yogi, you probably use a hell of a lot of these out there. You guys know
Oh
that?
yeah, I forgot to mention those. You definitely need those things.
Yeah, man. All different sizes. I only got the little ones left because I've used them.
Yeah,
And,
I wear them as biker rings sometimes.
It's not a
Tell you
bad
what.
idea.
I learned that you definitely got to have those because I had an experience back in 06. I was in the middle of the Ozarks and I was getting gas, and I had a fuel. Shame on me, but you learn as you go in life. That I had a fuel line it was so dry rotted. My crossover tube from one side of the tank to the other was just dry rotted, and it started just pouring fuel out at the gas pump. And right after I filled up with gas, man, and I didn't have extra fuel line nor freaking hose clamp, and I rode as fast as I could to try to keep that gas from igniting on the engine or whatever, to the next freaking parts house or something like that. Only because I couldn't fix the stupid thing right there, without risking my life, But I was a lot younger back then and didn't have any sense, So, but I survived my ignorance.
Got you this far, man.
Yeah, back then I was 28. Now I'm 41, so I guess I did all right.
You did good so far, man. So far, so good. So let me show you some other stuff that's in this bag. I got one of these, and let's see if I've got one of these that has the extension for the Phillips and the flathead. That's probably somewhere way down here, but that's cool. So you don't have to carry 2 screwdrivers. You just carry one of these, right?
That's helpful.
Yeah, so you don't have 2 screwdrivers. You got this. I'm gonna dump all this stuff out here in a minute. But yeah, anyway, so that's kind of like a little bag of tricks.
I got a little something if you don't mind me showing.
Please, John.
I don't know if you've got one of these, but it's like a emergency charger, which the 333 mentioned, but it's also I don't know if you guys are seeing these. You can plug these clips, your battery clips. So you plug it into. Let's see if I can show it. You plug it into the top here, and that will boost up to a 2.5 litre vehicle if the battery's flat multiple times. So it's also a torch, a battery booster, and an emergency charger. So I'll carry that on all my commutes.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, gets people out of trouble.
What a tool. So I'm looking in the chat right now, and the 333 says tire plug kit. But 333, is that the name of it? Like, what's the name of it, John? Do you see it on there? If we wanted to go pick one up.
I think he maybe mentioned that as well as, but this is the logo's melted off the front, but you can get these on Amazon, like they're about 20 odd quid where I am. So what's that, about $30 or something maybe? Okay. I'll see if I find
Google what 20 odd quid means.
20 odd quid's about $35, I think. 40 maybe?
Odd, we call pounds quid. A pound is a quid.
Is the pound still more than the dollar?
Yes.
Yeah, it was $1.75 a couple years back.
But yeah, the tire plug kit is another one that 333 mentions. I've got one of those. I don't always carry it, but if I'm going on a big trip, I'll throw that in there. It's got like the threads and there you go.
Right.
You got the little canisters as well, so you can boost it with a bit of air before you get to a garage.
No.
Yeah, mine's got a little
That's what I've got.
Yeah, it's like a small gun type thing, and you sort of pop the air capsule on there, put it on your tire, and it gives you enough air just to get to a garage to top it up fully.
Hey, another good one of those they make them is not the string ones like what Dee's had there. They make this one, it looks like a mushroom, and that way the cap of the mushroom goes on the inside of the tire. That way when you pull it taut and cut the end off, that cap makes a really good seal. I find the mushroom plugs work better for motorcycles than the rope plugs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, cool, man. I'm gonna have to look into that. So I'm gonna write that down.
I don't know they're just, for us, they're more of just a get out of jail sort of thing. That's just to get you to a garage to get it fully repaired, isn't it?
So the mushroom plugs, I've plugged a bunch of friends' tires with them, and they've ran those tires for the rest of their life.
Oh yeah, like as a permanent solution. I think those thread ones are just sort of thread it in, twist it, cut it off, and it'll get to a garage to get like a plug repair more. So that's how I see it. The kit that I've got anyway.
The mushroom plug kit, it's got like it's got the reamer, and then it's got an applicator that the plug goes up inside the tube, and then you shove the tube in the tire and pop the plug out. and then pull it tight and cut the end off. I think it's about like $30 for a kit, and they give you like 50 plugs.
Oh, that sounds better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Shoot, I'm already writing down stuff to upgrade my kit. Hey, before we keep going, because I've got to talk about my setup for my camera and my microphone as well. And then I want to open that up to the rest of you guys to share yours. But let me just go back here and read some of these comments. I'm gonna go to Baggers and Brews. He says, Dirty D's, are they letting the strippers work from home? Oh man, that's a great question. You know what? Of course it's happening. Yeah, they're working from home somewhere. Bluegrass Rider said, Mama got in a hurry. Motorcycle Mama and him are laughing about something. I don't know what. The 333 also says portable USB charger is handy. Yes. I don't think I have one up in here, but what I have is a connection that goes to the pigtail of my motorcycle that is a USB connector. So yeah, some other bikes don't have the USB connectors. A lot of the new ones are coming with all that fancy stuff, but that's what I usually carry. And I think, John, you talked about a charger. Hold on a sec. So for phone charger, I picked up one of these cases for my iPhone. It's not a new iPhone, so I got it cheap. This is one of those charging cases. So it'll charge up your phone pretty cool. So that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it cost me about, I think this one right now is about 25 or 30 bucks. And I do have one of those little juice packs too, because I do a lot of my filming with my phone. If I'm not on my bike, if I'm off my bike, all that video that I film off the bike is just with the phone straight up. All right, who else do we have in here? Patrick Hattrick was in here. Who else? Two Kiwi Riders. How many rolls can you get on the bike? The 333. Oh, they're having that conversation. Continuing through. We got Street Fighter ATL. Street Fighter. Let me tell you something about Street Fighter ATL. She is a huge MotoGP fan, and they have that right up the street in Austin, Texas. It's about an hour ride from here. And dude, as you all know, they shut down the whole season. That sucks. She was even posting online. She was finding flights down to Austin for like 90 bucks. Insane. Almost worth going if it wasn't for this thing going around. What else we got? D-Cycle in the house. All right. Smitty Independent Freedom. Smitty is coming, I think, all the way from Australia. Or no. Where are you, Smitty? Yeah, you're in Australia. And then D-Cycle. Man, if you guys have not seen listened to the 530 Bikers podcast, awesome podcast. Go check it out. Skid Pig in the house, yes, and Aussie from Townsville, one of the biggest cities in Australia. No, I'm joking. It's one of the smallest ones, but they got one hell of a flood. All right, continuing on through. Let me just keep on blabbing for a minute and see if I can switch this camera. I don't even know if I can, but let me see if I can switch to another camera.
I'll just quickly show this because I think Patrick Hattrick was asking. The kit that I've got is by a company called AirPro, and that's the device that you use the canister with. So you pop the canister, screw it in there, screw that on your valve, and then you open this to release the air into it. Sometimes you need more than one. It'll get you enough to, depends how far away your nearest garage is, I suppose, to put more air inside. But yeah, AirPro is the company that mine is made by. I'm not sure if that's available over there. There are other brands available.
I'll tell you what that is. That's a whippet for your motorcycle tire.
Where's the balloon?
Right.
All right, man. So let me see what I can do with this janky setup. This is like the worst. You might be able to see what I'm going to talk about here. So what I'm getting at is we're going to talk about
start DJing.
What's that?
Start doing the coronavirus DJ.
What is that, dude?
What is that?
Don't jinx me, man. Don't jinx me. All right, so I think you can see my setup here. All right, cool. So we're going to talk about the easiest setup for motovlogging. Man, I sure hope you guys can see that with this light.
Hey, now the light's in the way.
All right, dude. That might be okay. Yeah, you can see that. All right. Cool. So this is my setup for the helmet. I'm going to take this off because I'm hearing echo. This is my setup. It's so simple, man. It's one piece. it won't work with all helmets, and that's why I'm saying I want to open this discussion up for everybody else. But it's really just a Velcro piece that goes around the chin. So it's just like this. And I picked this up off of Amazon for about $7.50, and that's the setup. It's so simple, guys. I see a lot of people with screws and glues and all kinds of like contraptions, and sometimes you have to have that stuff. But if you can get away with it, if you get on Amazon, this is a wrist strap for GoPro. And like I say, it was like $7.50. So simple. So what I do is I just put it through here. There is a chin curtain here. So I just get it up under there.
Dude, that's an awesome idea because I just got a new helmet
Put
today
that here. If you can get away with it, I'm telling you, this is the only way that I've ever had a helmet connected to my GoPro connected to my helmet. The whole time I've been doing YouTube, it's always been this setup. Then you just take this block, and that's it. So then you can take this, stick it on there. That plugs in as usual.
Anonymous Spiker says he uses a nail
It's
gun.
pretty cool. And of course, I've got my, what do I use for, here, let me get my mic over here. So here's a mic that I use. I use a Purple Panda. It's worked so far so good. I think it cost me about 25 bucks. Yeah, we'll plug that in here. And then there's a lot of wire with this one. Luckily, these cheek pads pop open. Well, you can see that, but they pop open. So I just kind of tuck all this wire into the cheek pad. And then I leave the end of the cheek pad just kind of hanging out like that. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. That's kind of it. Pretty simple, man. And the way that I see it, the more simple it is, the less stuff's going to break down. I do have a dead cat on it. So yeah, with the dead cat, pretty simple stuff. I think I picked these up for what, a pack of 10 for $5. That's it. Setup.
That's a good setup, man. You like the Purple Pandas as well, don't you, Wiggs?
Yeah, I do. They are like 30, 35 bucks, and they produce a good quality sound without playing the guessing game, and they always come with the adapter, so they can be used as a regular microphone into a regular camera, or like the GoPro we all know needs TRS instead of TRRS jacks, so it comes with the adapter, which I like.
That's it, man. Yeah, so that's cool. Let me go back into the chat real quick. See what we got. Hey, Wiggs, tell me this too. Have you always used the Purple Panda, or did you use other stuff?
I used the Purple Panda, and then I tried two other things that were, one was the same price and one was more, and I like the Purple Pandas better. I think I have a noisy helmet. I get like a clipping in my mic that I'm like trying to solve. I keep shoving foam in front of it. There's like a whole big foamy thing inside this whole side of my face.
You know what? I think I heard that the other day in one of your videos, just a little bit of clipping.
Yeah.
And what GoPro are you using?
The 5.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wonder. How long have you had it?
3 years.
Because they're usually pretty good. The 5s are good.
Yeah.
Everybody I know likes them. What do you use, John, when you're filming?
Mine's a 5 as well. The one that I use a 5 and a 4 silver. I have the 4 silver because it was cheaper to get the microphone adapter for that. So I just use the 4 silver on my helmet, and then Mad uses the 5. The 5 is also dropped in the gimbal if we're using the gimbal. And then I'm just currently waiting on delivery of a Insta360 1R, you know, the new one.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping to use that on a big event that we had planned in April with Sports to Sickness. So there's going to be best part of 1,000, if not more, bikes going around the historic Mallory race circuit, doing a parade lap around there and raising money for a good cause and putting on a bit of a show for the local residents in the area. But obviously it's been cancelled with current events, which we will move past.
Right, exactly. Yeah, man. Well, hopefully we'll see a lot more coming up. You know, the events will come back. The sun will come back. Everybody will be back to normal. I think it'll happen. Hopefully sooner than later, but you never know, man. We just hang in there, man. It's like you make the best of any situation.
For sure.
I'm liking it. I love being able to work from home, so I'm all good with that, man. I just wish I could film more than I thought I was going to during this time. I haven't filmed anything. Stuff happens. All right, cool. So look, guys, I think we're going to get ready to wrap it up. We're coming up right at an hour. Here's what I do want to say, though. I want to give a big thank you to the time that you guys gave to this. You guys on the panel, I told you we were going to keep it to about an hour. We're coming right up on it. Wiggs from Michigan, I see you and your buddy up there, you know, having a good old time with the mullets, with the motorcycles, with everything that you guys got legalized up there in Michigan.
Yeah.
Keep having a good time, man. I love watching your videos, dude.
Yeah, I'll
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Oh.
But yeah, legal.
Yeah, cool, man. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Dad and Matt. Dad, John, what time is it out there where you are? I want to call attention to that, and thank you so much. What time you got?
It's just gone 2 a.m. Because your clocks go forwards before ours do. So mine go forward on Sunday, but it's 2 a.m. right now.
2 a.m. Still hanging hard, man. I appreciate you, dude. Really
Thank you, man.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yogi, thanks for being on here, dude, and sharing your expertise. We appreciate it. And you guys, by the way, go check out everybody's channels. You guys who are in the chat out there, chatting it up, feel free to go click on somebody's and check them out. The Motorcycle Mick, I saw you popped in. Chuckster in the house. Who else do we have? D-Cycle still hanging in. Adventures of the Bearded Bobber. Brother, thank you for, he says, great panel. Bearded Bobber has been on the panel a number of times, man, and I really hope to get you on the next one. The next one is going to be amazing. Let me tell you guys already what it is. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag straight up. But before I do that, of course, I want to thank Mr. Saddle Tramp. Tramp, you and I have been trying to put something together for a while, dude. So thank you for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
And it's been great. Corey and I had some phone calls, and I could just tell that he's a heck of a guy, man. So I appreciate you, dude.
Likewise.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So what I was saying is I had a real good conversation today with somebody that you might have seen on Instagram called Wicked Thumb. If you guys out there in the chat, if you have your phones right now, unless you're watching this video, don't do this. But if you're watching it on a computer, go check out Wicked Thumb on Instagram. This is a Texas electric bicycle company that's making bikes that look like friggin' choppers. It is insane. So they're close to Dallas, Texas. Wicked Thumb, check them out. But then I was also able to communicate with a bike builder. This bike builder's name is Butera, B-U-T-T-E-R-A, I believe. So he's going to be on the next one. He is somebody who has won. Let me find my phone and I'll be able to tell you what he won. Where did I put that thing? Here we go. He won a number of awards recently for his bikes. Let me just pop on over. If we had some music, I'd be playing it right now. That's going to be on the next one. There's an evolution to this whole thing, you know. So hold on just a sec.
I've just looked up that Wicked Thumb. They look real cool. I bet they look a bit pricey. I've seen bikes similar over here at the bike show in the UK, and they're priced quite, you know, they're quite high, but they're good quality. They look good quality. They look amazing.
Yeah, they look incredible. We talked about him coming on to the next LiveCast, I should say, and he'll talk to us about his company. They're a fledgling company. They have one bike, the Steve McQueen 750, I believe it is, and these things can haul ass. So we talked about a possibility of getting one of those bikes on the channel on a test run. And then we've got Brian Butera. So Brian won the 2019 Golden Bolt Champion and also 2019 AMD American Champion. I've got to even do some more research on Brian Butera, but if you guys are on Instagram, just go to Butera's Metalworks, BUTTERAS_metal_WERX. So Butera got some badass bikes, guys. So I can't wait. He's already agreed to be on the next LiveCast as well. So we're going to have both of those cats on. So, fellas, I appreciate you. We're going to wrap it up. Let you get back to the rest of your night. It means a lot to me, man. And everybody in the chat, you guys are the bomb. I appreciate you being here too. Everybody be safe. We'll see you on the next.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
guys.
All
Thank
right.
Cool.
Thanks, Tom.
Take it easy, brother. We'll see you,
All
man.
right.
All right.
See you later.